Today, I'm going to go over a 20-point marketing checklist to make sure that you are making at least $20,000 a month. And this is not some theoretical BS. This is something I have used with thousands of entrepreneurs. So if you can answer yes to the 20-point checklist I'm about to go over, you should be making at least $20,000 a month, if not more. So let's dive into it. One by one. One, you have a clearly defined core offer and their positioning. So you know exactly what you offer and you know the positioning behind it. That's the first one. Number two, you know exactly what makes your offer unique versus others. A lot of times people are just like, yeah, I'm just doing this because people do it. What makes you unique versus others? Because you're going to be able to communicate that to customers. Number three, you've documented your ideal client avatar and you use it in your messaging. If you are documenting your ideal client avatar and you know exactly who you're speaking to when you're creating content, when you're writing emails, when you're doing everything marketing, it makes it so much more clear for the person who is consuming the content. So you want to make sure that you have identified that. And I cannot stress this enough. Spend a lot of time understanding your brand messaging and your ideal client avatar. Four, you are running consistent traffic to a landing page or lead magnet. I do not care if you are brick and mortar. I don't care if you're online only. I do not care what you do. If you're selling widgets through, Shopify, does not matter. You need to be running consistent traffic to a landing page or a lead magnet. This doesn't mean that it has to be paid traffic. It can be organic traffic from social media, or it can be paid through advertising like Google ads or Facebook ads. But you need to make sure that you are continually sending people to this very specific landing page or lead magnet to be able to collect leads. Lead flow is everything in marketing. You want to make sure that you're continually doing that. How many times have you done that this week, this month, today? When's the last time you did it? Next, your funnel includes at least one lead magnet, nurture sequence, and sales call to action. This kind of builds off the last one. If you're consistently running traffic to a landing page and they opt in for the lead magnet, but there's no welcome email, there's no nurture sequence, there's no call to action for them to buy or hop on a call or schedule, well, then you have a very leaky bucket in your funnel, right? So you want to make sure that your funnels are complete from end lead capture to sales, okay? The next one, you're collecting and using testimonials or client wins weekly. This is something you definitely want to showcase on social media and on your website. You want a process for not only showcasing these, but collecting them. A lot of times people don't have a way to collect these. You should be following up. And don't think, oh, I set up an automated email that asks for a review, or I set up an automated email that asks for feedback or for a testimonial. Talk to people, text them, call them. Get the testimonials. They are very important, especially early on. Next, you have an email marketing plan. So you're doing, weekly broadcasts or automated sequence. You have to have some sort of email marketing plan. If you're running your business without any kind of email marketing, I honestly don't know how you have a business at all. And if you do, congratulations, that's awesome. But you might have the potential to double it now if you have a very solid email marketing plan. So what is your newsletter? What are your depth sequences? How are you getting people to get to your offers? You need a way to not only collect leads, but communicate with them. Next, you post 2 pieces of content at a minimum weekly that build authority. So this could be videos, this could be carousels, this could be tweets, this could be YouTube videos. You need to get into some sort of cadence and not this sporadic, I publish content occasionally. And if you're wondering, which kind of businesses should create content versus which ones don't have to create as much content? And that's a trick question. Every business needs to be creating content. I don't care what kind of business it is. If you're a plumber, cool, create content. If you're doing online social media stuff, cool, create content. Doesn't matter who you are, what kind of business you run, create content. You have a content strategy that maps to awareness, trust, and conversion. Okay, so when you are doing marketing, you're out there, you're putting yourself out there, social media marketing, content marketing, whatever it is, a part of that is just awareness. People don't know who you are. The next step after they know who you are is, how do I get them to trust me? And then after they trust me, how do I get them to convert? Start thinking about all three. A lot of people don't know who you are. Never make the assumption that people know who you are. You need to constantly be getting in front of new audiences and new people. And then you need to be thinking, okay, how do I build trust with these people? And then lastly, if you have trust and awareness, don't forget to make the ask. Have the call to action. See if they want to buy. See if they want to hop on a call. Don't skip that step because you're afraid to. Next, you regularly promote client success stories, behind the scenes case studies. This is similar to getting the testimonials, but you want to make sure you're promoting these more than like, oh yeah, I've got 3 testimonials on my website. You can email out case studies like, hey, Jennifer from this did this with me and she made $10,000 more per month. Or if you are like a physical therapist, you'd be like, hey, Jennifer had a hurt knee and she went through this process that we have and now her knee is better. She's running marathons, all these kind of things. Don't just collect these testimonials and display them randomly. Make sure that you are creating things from this. You could create PDFs. You could print these things off and hand them to people. You could put them in your brick and mortar. You could put them on your website as case studies they can download. These things are very important. Next, you repurpose your best content across platforms. So when you are doing social media, how I view social media specifically is it is testing the minimum effectiveness idea. So you are putting it out there to see what is resonating with people. And this is all a benchmark within your own. So if every video you post on social media gets 100 views and you post one that gets 200 views and you're thinking, oh, well, it's just 200 views. That's not a lot of people compared to big influencers. That video is twice as popular as anything else you've ever done. You need to analyze that and you need to dive into it more. It's like, okay, people want to hear more about this specific thing. I'm going to repurpose this. I'm going to take this Instagram post that got some views. I'm going to turn it into a YouTube video, a podcast. I'm going to turn it into a newsletter. Repurpose the things that people obviously resonated with. Next, you have a simple SEO strategy, whether that's blogging, podcasting, having show notes in your podcast. You need to be utilizing some form of search engine optimization. People need to know where your brick and mortar is. You need to have some Google reviews there. And if you are online, are you blogging consistently or putting show notes in your podcast so it's easier for people to do search engine optimization? Instagram just recently announced that Google will now pick up Instagram posts for search engine optimization. And so now you should start optimizing your Instagram posts for search engine so they all stick around a little bit longer. Next, you show up on guest podcasts or cross promos once per month. This is the one that's kind of specific to online business, reaching out to people, see if you could provide value on someone else's podcast. But you can also just look at this as relationship building in general. If you are a local business, are you having lunches and coffees with people? Are you doing drop-ins in different places to make sure you're building these relationships? So showing your face around the community or showing your face around the online world, if you will, very important in getting your face out there, going back to building awareness about you and your brand. Next, you track marketing KPIs weekly, so you know exactly how many opt-ins you got, what your ad spend is, what your cost per acquisition is, your cost per lead. You need to know all of these things and you need to be tracking them for looking for trends over time. What's successful? Can we double down on that? Next, from there, your sales page passes the 3-second what is this and who is it for test. So the grunt test talked about in Story Brand by Donald Miller, which is a great book. But people need to be able to answer that question very quickly. Don't have the confusing or underwhelming, sales page that people don't understand. Your website needs to be a sales page and it needs to communicate very clearly who you are, who you help, and how they can work with you. Next, you have clear calls to action on every piece of content you publish. Do not be afraid to do this. To be honest, I don't even do this enough, and I need to make sure that I do it more. You need to make sure that you have clear calls to action. It doesn't have to be literally on every single piece of content, but every single week you should be making a call to action for people to join the newsletter, hop on a call with you, come in and see you, whatever the case is. You think that oh yeah, I'm running a business and doing content. People know that they can work with me. No. They don't. They're not thinking about you. They hardly ever think about you. They see your post and maybe it's interesting. And then if you're like, hey, I help people with this. And, just a reminder here, if you want to work with me on that, we can do that. We can work together. Make sure you have the CTAs. Even if it's just once a week, you have a reminder in your calendar, like, hey, I'm going to go on social media and remind people what I do. And I'm going to have a clear call to action for them to do it. Next, you use urgency or offer stacks during promotions. So if you are running some sort of email promotion, I get you don't want to be sleazy, right? You don't want to be too markety, all these things that I hear from people, but there is such a thing as ethical scarcity. Like if you can only fit 10 people on your schedule this week, cool. Maybe let them know you have 10 slots available this week, and once they're gone, they're gone. You can do this. Or if you're running an actual promotion, a discounted offer, or they get some sort of bonus if they take action now, that can end in a week. You don't provide that promotion beyond when you are promoting that specific thing. You need to give people a reason to take action or they really never will. Next, you test new lead magnets or hooks every 90 days. Lead magnets are something that need to be refreshed. So, going back to making sure that you are running consistent traffic to a landing page or a lead magnet. Don't just think that I created one, it doesn't work that well, screw it, who cares? Going back to like looking at all of this, putting it in your marketing brain, looking at all of these checklist items we've had. It's like, okay, I have some content that's doing well. It's outperforming other pieces of content. People seem to like it. I'm going to create more content like that. On top of that, I'm going to create an in-depth guide, a lead magnet, so people can dive in even more here with me if they want. And that's how you're starting to adjust and utilize feedback and data to get better, as opposed to, yeah, I created a lead magnet once, 5 people downloaded it, then no one ever did again, so I don't really do lead magnets. That's weak. That's weak. You need to be better than that. All right. You have at least one automated evergreen marketing funnel running at all times. So you need to have something in place that gets people in, welcome email, then they're educated over a couple of emails, and then you make an offer. That should all be automated, okay? You should not have to think about, okay, yeah, I need to go in and do my email marketing offer. Everyone who signs up or becomes a part of your community, you need to take them through a process. What is it that you want them to learn? And then how can you help them on the back end? Don't feel like the sales email is something that you shouldn't be doing. You should be doing it to every new person who signs up for your newsletter, for your community. Make sure that you are making the offers and doing it in an automated way so you don't have to remember to do it all the time. And lastly, you've mapped out your 90-day marketing calendar ahead of time. So launches, promotions, so on and so forth. Here's what happens to entrepreneurs. I see it over and over again. They market a lot and then they start to fulfill, and the marketing effort goes down. So the revenue went up, but now they're no longer marketing. So revenue starts to go down. They have no shit moment. And so then they start marketing again. And it's this roller coaster over and over and over again. Lay out your 90-day marketing plan at the start of every single quarter. And that's what you're doing. No matter what, no matter how busy you get, it does not matter. Marketing never stops. Here's what we're doing for the next 90 days. We're not doing reactive marketing like, oh, leads are down, cash flow's down, I need to, start marketing again. Always be marketing. Always have that plan for 90 days, and you won't have these roller coaster revenue months. Happens to entrepreneurs all the time. Don't feel bad if it's happening to you. If it is happening to you and you're like, I literally don't have any more time to hire somebody. You got to get somebody in there to help you so you can continually market and you can continue to grow your business. So here's the deal. If you can actually do all 20 of these things, you'd be hard pressed not to have at least $20,000 a month in revenue coming in. It is simple, but it is not easy. And to do it, you will have to try harder.